Part 27 is installing a theme. In your browser, you're going to navigate over to themeforest.net. There are several other places you can go to find WordPress compatible themes. I definitely recommend ThemeForest. So before you actually get to the process where you install a theme, you're going to want to do some research. There are definitely other resources for WordPress themes that you should check out if you don't find what you're looking for in the Envato market under the ThemeForest category. There are several categories in here related to other graphic design resources, which we'll touch on in the future. But right now we're going to focus on ThemeForest. You've got a few tabs in this column under the ThemeForest tab. All items, WordPress, hosted WordPress, which is new, HTML, marketing, CMS, e-course, Muse, UI design, plugins, more. CMS should show, I would assume that it will show WordPress because WordPress is a CMS. You can go to e-commerce and look at WooCommerce compatible themes. If you're specifically just looking to sell products and find themes related to selling products. But I always like to go and just search templates. I always use the keyword WordPress. And depending on what type of website you want to set up, you might want to look for a specific or particular theme around what your website is about. So, for example, if we are setting up a website for a restaurant, you could search WordPress restaurant, and you should find WordPress compatible themes. And you want to make sure that it's in the WordPress category, okay? Not HTML5, not Photoshop template. Make sure it says WordPress. So you'll notice there are a lot of different features for these themes. It's definitely worth the investment. When you find a theme that looks great and has the features that you want to use, go ahead and I recommend just buying it and setting up your website. You can always change your theme later and just update your entire website if you find that the theme doesn't work for you. But it's still a great investment to get started, especially if it's your first website. Obviously, you will want to do some research. So this theme says WordPress entertainment, restaurants and cafes, high resolution, blah blah blah. And you'll have a rating under it if people have downloaded the theme, used it, and rated it. So I don't always recommend just going with the first theme you find, but I'm just going to open this in a new tab to show you how you can go about, previewing the theme. When you go over to the theme page, you can obviously look at reviews, you can look at comments to see if people are having any issues, to see if people have requested other features for the theme, and you can click on live preview, which automatically opens in a new tab. The first thing I always like to do is remove this frame. I click the X in whatever frame shows up on the top of the screen so that I can have a full screen view of what the website would look like in my browser. The next thing I like to make sure I do is make sure my Windows zoom is at 100%, not zoomed any higher than 100%, because sometimes zooming into your browser, which a lot of people like to do to make the visuals bigger, make the text bigger, sometimes breaks the theme design and makes some of the assets in the theme kind of look out of place. So make sure you set the zoom to 100%, refresh the page if you have the zoom above 100% when the page loaded, just to make sure you're seeing exactly what is in the theme. Most themes will have several different layouts that you can preview, which you can also use when you download the theme in your website design. But when you buy the theme one time, you have access to all of the templates that are included. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick one and see what it looks like. This one automatically opens the different themes or the different theme styles in a new tab. So Right now I definitely am checking this out. This looks pretty cool. It's got this hamburger icon that brings up a full screen menu. Oh man, this is pretty good looking theme. It looks like it's a non-scrolling home page, like a landing page, where, wow, this is a pretty good looking theme. Not gonna lie, wow, this is pretty incredible. So if you want to look at this theme on a mobile device, instead of actually pulling out your phone and going to the address here, all you have to do is minimize the browser. So this is basically what the theme will look like in a tablet. Okay, this is what the theme looks like on your desktop. This is what the theme looks like in a tablet, so it shows that your theme is responsive. This is what the theme looks like on smaller screens, or if you're zoomed in too far. I think if you have your zoom set to 120%, or if you're on a small laptop, your theme might look like this to people who are on a small laptop, definitely on a tablet. And if you go over to zoom, bring the window all the way down in width, you're going to see what it's supposed to look like in mobile. So most WordPress themes are responsive in real time, so that you can preview what the theme looks like on multiple devices. So I'm going to go and check out another. Let's do. Wow, these are all really pretty good looking. Like, they're clean and bold. Let's do this one. This one looks pretty unique. Yellow is a really bright color. It looks like something that'd be kind of focused around fast food, but more of a high ticket kind of fast food experience. So again, it's a landing page with no scrolling, and then this is what the theme looks like on a tablet, and here's what the theme looks like on a mobile device. So sometimes the themes will have three different visuals. The templates will have three different visuals when the actual theme creator has created templates for you. So I'm going to go and check out some more. So a couple of other things that you want to definitely make sure works with your theme is certain plugins, certain features like WooCommerce. Sometimes you'll go to a themes page, you want to make sure you can accept payments, or they have WooCommerce templates. Otherwise, if they don't have any WooCommerce integration within the theme, that doesn't necessarily mean WooCommerce won't work. The previous videos we set up WooCommerce, you can still have WooCommerce pages, the shop, etc. But you'll have to kind of modify the design of those pages yourself if those don't come pre-packaged with your theme. So you definitely want to check out theme features and certain compatibilities. So when you go over to the theme page, obviously it has like a preview of the theme. You can do a live preview, which will open in a new tab. You can scroll down to look at the theme description, and in the right hand column you'll see when the theme was last updated, when the theme was created. This was July 2015, last updated last month on the 1st. It says it is a high resolution website, compatible. Usually the browser compatibility kind of doesn't matter, but if it's kind of a new theme, or if it's been recently updated, it should be compatible with all the browsers that are important, to say the least. And compatible with, you'll see different plugins that this is compatible with. So WooCommerce is the big e-commerce plugin for WordPress that definitely I recommend compatibility with WooCommerce over anything. Sometimes some things will come packaged with other plugins, premium plugins that you would generally have to purchase. So some of the plugins that I recommend to find a theme that's compatible with are let me think. Visual Composer and Revolution Slider. So some themes will have their own little page builder, and if I say if it doesn't have Visual Composer, you might have a little bit of a hard time customizing the pages, because Not all page builders have all the features that Visual Composer does and the extensions that are available to work with Visual Composer. Here you can see when you scroll down, it says Revolution Slider included. So this is a great investment into this plugin that also, or this theme that also has the Revolution Slider plugin. So you won't have to buy that plugin. I definitely recommend having Revolution Slider with whatever website you set up. But we're going to see it has drag and drop page builder, which I think this signifies that there is no Visual Composer included with this. That's not to say that Visual Composer won't work with your theme, but when you download these themes that aren't built with Visual Composer, you may have a hard time editing the actual theme templates with Visual Composer if you want to make any structural changes to the template. Otherwise, if you're building out new pages and you want to create a new design, but you want to keep the templates that you download as is, then you can definitely use Visual Composer on the custom pages that you're going to create for your website. I hope that makes sense. So let's check out this theme. It has a cool little loader before the actual page loads. This is using Revolution Slider, which has these different sliding images, and the images have like a slider, a transition effect. Let's click on home. You can view different home pages. I didn't scroll down, I'm just gonna see the header for each page. So this one looks like it just has a couple of slides on each page. Let's check them out to see if any of them are different. So most of the difference for these sliders are just the images, it looks like. Sometimes you'll have different slider styles on different page templates, such as, I know this last one we're about to look at just has a video instead of the two images with your what would you call this? My mind is just kind of going blank right now. Let's go down to the last one. So full screen video. So this is pretty cool. Generally you'd replace this video with a video of your own, but the theme is set up to where all you have to do is go into into Revolution Slider to replace whatever video is in this background. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust this down to maybe like an iPad size, and then I'll adjust it to the mobile size. In the mobile size, you'll see that there is a hamburger icon for a menu. I'm just going to refresh this page while it's on mobile to see what it looks like. Interesting. Okay, we got a hamburger icon with a menu that comes in from the left side. Booking. Cool, I like this. This is pretty neat. So depending on what your industry is, you want to definitely go and check out some different websites, kind of scroll through and see if they have all the features you need. I definitely recommend having a theme that's compatible with WooCommerce Visual Composer. So let's see, WordPress, restaurant, let's see, tags, software version compatible with. So you can go over to compatible with and include Visual Composer. So I'm going to add this, and WooCommerce. Let's see, if you want to have like a social network, you might want to choose BuddyPress. Let's see, show the remaining 12 options. Most of these I don't necessarily recommend trying to find compatibility with unless it's specifically some plugin that is going to help you build out certain pages on your website. You've got like things like events calendars. You might want to have a website with certain booking features, or you can search for other plugins too. In some cases you should be able to search the plugins. So these plugins that are listed are all of the plugins that are included in the themes that have the keyword restaurant. So when you search for a theme and you click on compatible with, or you search for an industry or niche or market, when you click on compatible with, the only plugins you should see are the plugins that are available in these themes that are listed under your search. So there's not going to be a plugin in here that's not listed in any of these restaurant websites. So now that we've selected WooCommerce and Visual Composer, this will narrow down the options that we have. This first theme, okay, let's see. I'm not sure that we saw this one. I don't think we have. Okay, I'm just going to click on Live Preview. I like to remove this frame. Okay, yeah, it's definitely a different theme. So choose a demo. We've got several different demos here. I'm just going to go ahead and choose one, the one that looks most interesting to me. And in some cases, the stock photography, the images in the background of the theme may not actually come delivered with the theme. So you're going to have to keep that in mind when you're downloading a theme for your particular industry or website. You may want to consider looking for or taking your own photos for this website, because in some cases, the photos that are used for the purpose of these demos may not be deliverable due to like copyright issues or licenses that are available from the actual theme designer. They might just be using these images to showcase what you could build or how you could visually set up your website. So if images that are in your demo don't come delivered with the theme, you got to consider that and either try to find the images by uploading the images to Google Images to see if you can find the reseller for the stock photography. The easy way to do that is like right click on the desktop background and click inspect. If you're in Firefox, it's easy to right click on the background. I'll actually do it right now and show you how to do it. And I'm only showing you this so that you can figure out how to find the images if they are available on stock photography websites and you want them. So say you find an image you want, and all of this is pretty important before picking your theme, because overall you want to make sure your website looks great. You don't want to build a website and it pretty much looks like crap. So let's go to that theme demo page in Firefox, and when the page is finished loading, you're going to right click on the desktop or on the background and view page, click on view page info. This is easiest to do in Firefox. You're going to find this window that pops up. You're going to go over to media, and you'll be able to basically browse through all the images that are embedded on that website. So here's the image right here in the background. I'm just going to save this on my desktop. I'll go over into a new tab, click on go to Google. I'll click on images in the top right hand corner. I'll click on the search by image icon, which is a camera, upload image, browse, or you can drag it from your desktop. And I'm going to find that image we just saved and upload it. So very similar images. The best guess for this image is farm to table food. Pretty cool image, and the first image I see is that image. So it looks like this image came from someone else's blog. So farm to table 101. And I'm not sure if there are any copyright claims on this image, but this is just to give you an example. Here are other websites that have embedded the image on their blog. So if you find an image and you see that it's not actually uploaded to any stock photography website, then chances are you can use the image as long as you're not selling the image. You can use the image on your website. Okay, so just look at the usage rights if you can find them. And if you can't find the usage rights, use the image. So once you find your theme, you're gonna create an Envato account, purchase your theme. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm already logged in. When you purchase your theme, you can go over to your username in the top right hand corner of your Envato Market and scroll down to Downloads. And click on the green download button. Generally, I recommend downloading all files and documentation. Otherwise, if you just need to download an updated version of your theme, download the installable WordPress file only. Let's go ahead and download all files and documentation. So I'm going to open up my folder structure. And we'll go over to our WordPress folder, downloaded themes folder, and I'm going to grab this zip file we just downloaded and drag it into our downloaded themes folder. Awesome. Now we can right click and extract here or unarchive if you are on a Mac. And I generally like to go ahead and delete the zipped file once the extraction is complete. Just click yes to all if it asks you if you want to replace any existing files. And let's delete that zip file. Now you'll have a folder in here that should have all of your you've got your theme, and if the developer really went out of their way to make sure that you get everything you need up front, you should have a child version of your theme. Okay, so if you don't have a child version of your theme, I'll create a second video, after this explaining how to create a child version of your theme. So definitely check that out. Skip it if you have a child version included inside of your archive. If you don't, make sure you do not skip that video. Okay, and I'll discuss that in the second video why that's important. You've got an import. Sometimes you'll have theme like default theme styles that you can import. You've got your theme documentation, included plugins, which usually WordPress is really good about knowing which plugins are supposed to be included in your theme, so you don't have to upload the plugins. It'll just ask you if you want to download and install the latest version of those plugins once your theme is active. Licensing and your import zipped file of every page that's available for you to import into your theme. So these pages are the templates from the theme I chose to download, so I can import an individual page if I don't need all of the page templates that came with this theme, right? I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So I'm going to take our theme and our child theme. I'm going to right click and cut it. We're going to go over to our WordPress folder, the folder that we use to name our website. And I'm going to paste this in here. Actually, hold on. Let me see. Maybe there's a better place to do this. So since we already set up WordPress, actually you don't need to cut these files. You can keep them in here. Let's actually go over to our WordPress dashboard. Let's go over to Appearance and Themes. By default, you should have the most recent version of your default WordPress theme installed. At the top, you can click on Add New, and we're going to click on Upload Theme. Also at the top, you want to choose File. We're going to navigate to that folder. And first we're going to choose our main theme zipped folder. Open, install now. When you install a theme, it's not going to be active as soon as it's installed. And I hope you're taking action and following me, following along as I go through this process. So obviously it's going to take you some time to find your theme, and that's okay. If you've got to pause the video, just do so. Go find you a theme. It might take you a whole 5 hours to find the perfect one if you're picky. And some themes take longer to install than others because they might have a lot of assets included in them. But be patient, just let the theme install. I'll show you an alternate way to upload a theme if the default route is taking too long. So if you've been following this video, you should have an FTP account set up with FileZilla. We're going to open up FileZilla. We'll go over to File Site Manager and we'll open up our website. Once you've connected to your server, you want to go over to the folder that hosts your WordPress files. We'll go over to WP-content, themes, and you should see, for instance, we're in year 2017, so you'll see the current year and the two previous years, 2016 and 2015. I've deleted those other two themes because I know I'm never going to want or need them, but I always recommend keeping the current year's theme here in case you need to deactivate your custom theme to fix any issues. You'll have something to fall back on while you're fixing bugs with your current themes, because sometimes that is the case. And in this folder, you would have to, let's see, I'm going to see if I can drag in our child theme first since it's a smaller file. You go over to your browser window, or not your browser window, your desktop files or where you downloaded your theme in the Finder, and drag your child theme over to your themes folder. Of course, it's going to be zipped, so it's going to take one transfer to upload the zipped file, and you'd have to extract this theme in your one-in-one panel. So if you log into one-in-one and you want to go this method by uploading the file through your FTP, which we just uploaded our full theme through the browser. If I refresh our FTP, our full theme will be in here in the folder. So our child theme is in here as a zip. This is just an alternate way to upload your file. So I just want to show you each way possible in case you choose to go this route. We're going to go over to oneinone.com. Log in. When you're in your one-in-one control panel, this is also how you can upload plugins. You're going to go down to your hosting section, and under the manage web space of the hosting box, you're going to click on Web Space Explorer. And here you can see the root of where your WordPress folder should be hosted. You're going to double click on your WordPress folder and WP content, themes. I've got running by 2017 and our running by child zip that we uploaded via FTP. We're going to extract this zipped file here. So unzip, just click on OK. Actually, I'm sorry. I think I just told you to unzip this in the wrong folder. Let's just make sure. So unzip. Pretty sure you've got to choose a folder. We didn't choose a folder. So we're gonna click on themes, right? And click OK. And it should extract in here when you actually click on the folder you want to extract it in. Now we can delete the zipped file. So if I go back over to FileZilla and refresh, our zip file is gone. We've got our theme folder that we uploaded in the browser, and we've got our child theme that we uploaded via FTP but extracted via our web space explorer in 1-in-1. Alternatively, you can go to 1-in-1 and upload your files directly via the web space explorer, but I recommend uploading the entire zipped file so that it takes less time to transfer and you don't get any transfer errors. Sometimes when you upload the actual folder, for example, some people like to go and extract the child theme and you'll have a folder that you can upload. I'm just going to change the name of this to Running by Child 2 just to give you an example, and you can drag this file, this folder, directly into your FileZilla server. And because there aren't many files in here, there are like 2, so you've got a style CSS and a screenshot. It's going to individually transfer those files for you, and you won't have to extract anything. But to do that with your actual theme zipped file, you've got hundreds of files in here that you need to transfer. So I don't recommend uploading via FTP by dragging the unzipped folder into your FileZilla window. It's going to take way longer to upload this file via FTP if you're just uploading an unzipped folder full of over 100 files. Okay, so those are just a few ways that you can go and import your theme. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that second child theme. Now we have our theme and our child theme folder extracted inside of our themes folder for WordPress. Now if we go back over to WordPress, we can go over to Appearance and Themes. We now have our default theme, which should still be active, our new theme, and our child theme. If you don't have a child theme included with the theme that you downloaded, you'll need to go to the next video to learn how to create a child theme, because this is what we will need to edit if we want to make any changes to the PHP or some of the code of our theme. So that the purpose of the child theme is so that if you ever need to update your main theme, you won't lose any edits you made to the code in PHP, CSS, HTML. If you needed to change some of the theme code for the template, you can actually change the code in the child theme, which never has to be updated, because all it does is basically pushes those changes you want to make, the custom code, and pulls the files from your, we can call this a parent theme. And your parent theme is the theme that actually holds all of the template data. The child theme will just hold any of your changes that you need to make via code. So if you need to fix something or reposition a logo using custom CSS or by modifying one of the theme files, you don't want to actually modify the theme file. You want to modify the child theme files, because when you go to push an update on a theme and you have modified files directly in the theme, those updates that you make will be overwritten. You'll have to go back into those files to reinsert that custom code, and you don't want to deal with that because you might forget where you got that code from. You'll forget where you put the code. You'll forget what the code was for. You'll forget how to make the fix, and this will just kill all that hassle in the future if you ever run into those problems. It's very important to have a child theme. So we've got our theme, we're going to activate it. In the top, it'll say if your theme has custom plugins or plugins that premium plugins that come with your theme. It'll say this theme requires the following plugin: Visual Composer. This theme recommends the following plugins, blah blah blah. So this requires Visual Composer but recommends other plugins that aren't necessary for your theme to work. So the recommended plugins, you can choose whether or not you want to install them based on whether or not you need them. I always recommend just installing them, and if you find you don't need them in the future, deactivate them or get rid of them altogether. We're going to go ahead and begin installing plugins, and we'll go ahead and select all of the plugins using this top checkbox next to the word plugin. We'll go through the bulk actions and click on install, and then click apply. So sure, it might take a second to actually install some of these themes or some of these plugins, depending on how many plugins are packaged with your theme, depending on how fast of a server you downloaded or what time of day you choose to actually complete this process. Obviously, sometimes there are busier days where a lot of people are on the internet, or using a particular server where there's a lot of traffic going through the internet, so it might take a little longer for some of the processes to complete depending on how busy the servers are, because remember, you're kind of using a shared server, so you're not going to have the fastest speed when it comes to making some updates. So keep that in mind. In the future, you can always upgrade your server to a private server, which is going to be a little more expensive, but it's kind of not necessary for now. Because we're completing some somewhat big tasks in installing plugins in bulk, we just installed 5 different plugins all together. So of course it'll take a little bit longer to install those plugins simultaneously. Just be patient and wait for the page to load. Once the page reloads, it'll say whether or not your plugins were successfully installed, what issues you may have run into. So I see that one plugin had failed. Installing and activating plugin Revolution Slider 4. I believe this is the plugin that failed. Let's go and double check Revolution Slider plugins. So Revolution Slider, which is also titled Slider Revolution, said that it failed, but it looks like it didn't. Just in case, I'm going to go ahead and delete this plugin. Actually, you have to deactivate it before you delete it. And I'm only doing this in case the plugin didn't install completely. So I'm going to delete the plugin, and the recommendation will show back up at the top of the window. I'm going to go over to click on plugins again, or refresh the page, and it'll prompt you to begin installing the missing plugins. So now, since we only have one plugin to install, we shouldn't get any errors when we install this plugin. So we're going to go ahead and click on install. And it's important that you check for any errors. Now we just got a notification that the plugin was installed successfully, and now we can go over to plugins to make sure that these plugins are activated for this particular theme. Any plugins that are free you should be able to update in real time from the plugins section. And usually if your theme is packaged, when you buy a premium version of a theme, it'll come packaged with the most recent plugin version. And in some cases, if the plugin was updated after the most recent update of the actual theme itself, then the plugin might be out of date. But you can wait for your theme developer to update the actual theme, and you can go back. You should be able to delete the plugin and then reinstall it using the prompt at the top of the window, and it'll actually go and update the plugin once the developer has updated the compatibility from the theme. So for instance, if the theme was developed or last updated January 28th, and on January 29th Visual Composer came out with a new version of that plugin, well, you'll have to wait until the theme developer decides, okay, we need to go and make sure that this theme is compatible with the latest version of Visual Composer. On February 3rd, your theme developer might update your actual theme over in themeforce.net, and you'll see that date in the updates section. And if that date is past the date of the most recent date of the update for your plugin, you should be able to go and delete the plugin out of WordPress plugin section and reinstall it. The theme will actually install the latest version for you. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So if it shows that a plugin is out of date and this is a premium plugin that's asking you to activate it, you might have a license that comes packaged in your documentation for that plugin, or you'll just have to wait until the theme developer updates the theme itself. Okay, so it's okay that, let's say, Visual Composer is out of date, because we know that this version of this plugin, which is the second to last version, is compatible with our theme. By going and downloading the premium version of this, or paying for a premium version of this, even though it comes with your theme, if your developer hasn't updated its compatibility with this plugin, and you go and update the most recent version, you might run into a small issue until the developer updates the theme. So it's better to just leave it as is. Even if it's out of date, unless it's a free plugin, you should be able to update it and have no issues. Now our theme is installed, and we're going to go back over to Appearance, Themes, and we've got our plugins installed. We're now going to activate our child theme now that we've got the compatible or the related plugins installed for our theme. The next thing you can do once your child theme is active is visit your website homepage. So by default, you may see a template, and you might not. Most likely, you won't see any template files for your theme installed. You'll see a blank page. You'll see your basic home page with a you've got a layout here. It's not necessarily a template. You've got a layout that is basically set up to be designed for your theme, but you don't actually have a template. In some cases, you're going to need to read the theme documentation to figure out how to install the templates. For our particular theme, in the appearance section, we have an installer panel that comes with our theme. This is not going to be on everybody's theme. So in the installer panel for this particular theme, I can go through and kind of check out, I can just see a preview of what certain theme templates look like. So just so you're not confused, you have a theme, and each theme has individual templates for that theme. Okay. Just scrolling through, kind of check out what these templates look like. Cool. And if I find something I like, I can go and just install that theme. You definitely want to go back to Code Canyon, search for the theme, and look at the templates through there, because in some of these installer panels, if you click this assuming that you can view the theme before you install it, it might actually just go straight to installing that particular theme. Make sure you read the documentation for your particular theme. Okay, and by following those directions, you'll be able to go and update your homepage, at least at the minimum, your homepage to the layout that you want with that default content. As far as updating the content with your own custom pictures and text, like I said, I recommend using a theme compatible with Visual Composer. If it was built with Visual Composer, that'll be even better. We'll talk about Visual Composer and updating content in another